Hey there, Torch Tales. Here I am, Frank, once again, your host. Whether you like it or not, I'm the only one that's doing this right now, so you're stuck with me. And today I have the pleasure of sitting down with a good friend that, we've become friends for a few years now, and we travel and see each other at pretty much almost every show. We are in the same industry, and there's something about this person, and it's not me saying it, it's everybody else. She's very likable. She just gets out there. She's outgoing. I think every company would be very lucky to have her, and you'll see why. It'll come off in the camera. Again, I want to say thank you to Melissa de Jesus. And I know a little bit about her, but I'm not going to say what I know because that would be another show. But I do want to get to know you a little bit more and make sure that the two people that are going to be listening to this, just me and her, maybe two others.
Your mom and my mom?
Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. That we learn a little bit more about what it takes, but I want to see it from the female perspective.
Sure.
Something that I can't say I can say. So first of all, thank you again, Melissa. And let's start with, where's Melissa from?
Well, depends on how far you want to go back, but so I'm from Milwaukee. I came from another company in the industry selling hard goods for Phoenix International.
Okay.
I was with them for a while I was raising my kids and getting my master's degree, and then met somebody in the industry.
So sorry, you're going to see this from me all over, the interview, back and forth, up and down. So I'm sorry, guys. Kids. So you have two kids?
Two kids.
Really?
Yep.
Boys, girls?
Both girls.
All right, cool. All right, so Phoenix International.
Yes, so Phoenix International, got my master's degree. Mostly got it just because I didn't need it at the time, but I wanted to make sure I didn't have any limiting factors on why I wouldn't be promoted into a position or considered for a role within any company that I was with. So I got my master's degree and stayed at the company for a little while, and then left to try to grow myself professionally and be closer to my kids, closer to home, so I could participate in all their school stuff. So I did that, and then the pandemic happened, and I ended up back at Phoenix after the pandemic. Was there for a couple years, and was working really hard to build my brand back as myself. I was working underneath a managing director at the time. My mentor is an incredible man who's been in the industry forever.
Do you want to say his name?
Dick Wilkinson. Yes.
All right, plug.
You're next, buddy.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, so I worked with him, and he just showed me a lot of the good things I think that I picked up that have made me successful. But when I came back into the industry, I wanted to make sure to make a point that I was Phoenix. I was the brand, and I was the one representing the company, and it wasn't anybody else. So I worked really hard to do that. And in that time, that company at the time was just going through some stuff, and it was hard.
Happens.
Yeah, it was just hard for me physically to do that while managing my home life and things like that. So I met somebody else in the industry. Another woman in the industry, and we connected straight away just as friends.
Yeah.
We got to see each other at shows in the industry throughout the year. And then a year later, she offered me a position at Superior.
Oh.
So that's how I ended at Superior, and it's been a great transition. But yeah, I think the connections and the networking and knowing people in the industry is the only reason that I am where I'm at.
That's awesome, and that speaks again, highly about not only just you, but when you put a good effort out there, and when you are you, regardless of who you work for, because you have to create your own brand. And at the end of the day, people buy from people. You could be selling pencils, you could be selling balloons, whatever. But so here you are. You were with Phoenix. You left, personal reasons. Come back. And at that time, did you think you were going to come back to the industry, or did you always knew you had doors open there?
Yeah, good question. I fell in love with the industry when I first came into it. I don't know, there's something about the welding industry that I didn't experience anywhere else. So the company I was with had a larger portion of the company was lighting. And then the ovens portion in the welding industry was a little tiny pocket of the company. So I was experiencing a lot of things on this side, on the lighting side. But then once I started tasting the welding, I was like, this is a really great group of folks. A lot of genuine, authentic people. a lot to learn, and a lot of the industry is so cool because it's connected to just so much of the world.
Correct. Yeah.
The gas, the welding, it touches everything. And so I just thought how cool it was to be a part of that. You see it all day, every day. So then when I left, I was kind of bummed, but I came back and started on the lighting side again, started going to trade shows on that side, and yeah, it just wasn't the same. So when I got the opportunity to come back, but yeah, it's just it feels like home. Feels like home with family members that you get to see throughout the year.
I get it, because I got to see you with, the company before and now with the current company. And you can see there's a difference in the way you act and the way you approach
Sure.
everything now. And not that there's anything or that there was something wrong. Again, we all grow, and what we thought it was great last week, it might not be this week. It is what it is.
Mhm.
Now, being in the industry as a salesperson, sales rep, regional manager, whatever title, that either you are handling customers direct or through rep agencies, 1099s, whatever the case might be. Now that you have been exposed to the industry so much and that it's still so much a male-oriented industry, do you see a difference in the way that you have to approach things or the way you have to carry yourself versus us
The
guys?
male counterparts. Yeah, I think that's a big question. Part of it is how you carry yourself, and so you're not conceived a certain way, right? Somebody doesn't see you as a sex symbol or that you're trying to sell with your body.
I get that all the time, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I try not to be like him. Anyway, so there's a lot of people that everybody's got their own selling
Correct.
tools. That's one that I've tried really hard not to
fall
yeah. for. Maybe it's my upbringing. My mom was very strong into be a strong, independent woman and take care of yourself. And so in my mind, I didn't view using my body as selling. It's not going to be what it is now forever. It's going to get old and wrinkly and saggy and fat and skinny and whatever it might be. So if you're buying from me for one feature or another, it's not always going to be that way. So I wanted people to want to be around me or invest in me because of who I am, not because of what I physically have.
I totally get it. Is your mom still around?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's my best friend.
Really?
Yep.
That's awesome. And how is so you have two girls.
Yes.
How old are they?
My oldest is 19 and a half, and my baby will be 18 in 3 days.
So she was 11, I guess.
Yeah, I had kids at 7.
Yeah,
so.
Don't judge. It wasn't in the States, right? So your kids, as much travel as we do, and your family, you also have family,
yes.
And does the traveling take a toll on the family? Do they understand? Do you ever get into, oh, you're leaving again, really? Because I know it happens to me.
Sure.
And so it's hard not to, that come into the questioning of, most people think that, oh, you're out there just having fun, you're having a drink or you're traveling or you are going to this venue. And there's some perks about that. But trust me, most people don't understand that it takes a toll physically, mentally, and especially with the family. Does it happen to you?
Yeah, it does. And I will say that I've been really fortunate in my life that early in my career years, I got to stay home with my kids. So I stayed home with them full time until they were in school. And so I didn't actually start traveling until they were in high school. So
okay, so that made it easier on that side.
Yeah, so I was able to be at everything. I volunteered for everything. I was heavily involved in their lives growing up. And so when I got to the part where I had invested enough that I wanted to jump into sales and start doing some of the outside stuff and traveling, I didn't feel as guilty, and I had more control over some of the dates, right? Like some of these shows you have to go.
Yeah, some are flexible where you can kind of, dictate your agenda, but some of them are like black and white.
Yeah, so if you want to go on calls and see distributors and customers, you can set those dates on times that work around your life and your kids' life and your family life. Some of these events, unfortunately, do not, and you have to sacrifice one or the other. Do you miss out on part of the event? Do you miss out on part of your family stuff? How do you balance that? So I do get some stuff from home, but because I was home so much, it doesn't.
Correct.
But I think it's mostly because we're such a sarcastic family. So it's like, oh, you're going to party, huh? So it's not. They're clear on what I'm doing, and they support my career.
That's awesome.
Because we get to live the life that we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's smart comments here and there, but yeah, all in all, I think it's
Right? Yeah,
It's
it
healthy.
comes with the territory, and it's putting food on the table.
Yeah.
So let's not kid
Right.
ourselves about this, right? So here we are in the industry now. You would say, from the first time with Phoenix leaving, coming back, Superior. Now you are in the business. What, 6, 7 years?
Yep, something
Give or
around there.
take. So what would you say when, by the way, we are here in Philly at the GATA SMC 2023, SMC Spring Management Conference. You're right. There's a lot of acronyms
Yep.
out there that we have to keep up with. And it's a great venue because we get to see everyone in one place, and we get to maybe talk to them, whether it's closing a deal or not. But do you find that on the professional side, coming to the shows and seeing everyone there and being exposed, vice versa, them to you, you to them, that you get that real value back from the shows?
Sure. Yeah, and we talk about it a lot at these conferences and in sales in general, but people buy from people. So I fortunately work for a company that has a quality product, that has a
Yeah.
quality name, quality customer service, customer care, a quality team on the backside, but people are going to want to buy from people.
Correct.
So it's a critical component of my success, my company's success, and my team's success,
Yeah.
that I'm here and people like me, that people trust me, that people feel that I do what I say I'm going to do and show up when I say I'm going to show up. So
That's the bottom line. Being on sales, of course, rejection is part of the business. We're gonna get more no's, or else maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. We'll talk again sometime, and because they might have a relationship with somebody else, and if it works, it works. You don't want to be pushy, but have you ever done a call that the minute you go in, no names, this is hypothetically, you go into a call, and the minute you walk in, that they are never going to buy from you. They're never
Sure.
going to give you the time of day. And some of them are very professional about the way they tell you no. Some, they just hide behind the desk.
Yep.
Do you get that as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think what's helpful for me and a couple of the large territories is our independent reps that we
Yeah.
utilize. So I rely heavily on their relationships and for them to badger and badger and badger, right?
For them to be the filter,
Yes. Yeah, so they're the ones that are going in there and they're saying, are you buying Superior? You want Superior? How come you're not buying Superior? What you bought from Superior? Why you're not buying from Superior? So, but yeah, it is, again, with selling who you are and your brand. So you might not want to buy my product right now. I might not be at this company forever either. You don't really know where you're going.
Correct,
So it's
yeah.
a matter of that relationship. So you're
Remembering
not going
you.
to want to buy from me right now, but you're going to want to see me. You're going to want to say, hey, how are the
Correct.
kids? How's life? What are you doing? And I'm going to do the same thing. So when you see me, you're not like, oh, God, Melissa's here again to talk about brass. You're like, oh, hey, how are you? And you're like, yeah, it's not really the right time right now, but you're not going to not give me the time because we have a good relationship.
Correct.
So that's my approach with it.
No, I get it. And so when you are making these calls, and what is your method to follow through? And you make a call now, and you want to go see them again. How do you handle and how do you keep your agenda? Her agenda, by the way, I'm going to share this. So most of us in the 21st century have, use a digital calendar or phones or this or that, right? Well, my friend here, she still uses a 1989 full desk calendar with highlighting and pencils and pens, and that's the only way that she can keep her whole month, year up to date and on track. Whatever works, guys.
It's vintage. It's now really
it's vintage.
worth
It's
a lot of money.
It's a collectible item, right? So how do you handle that whole thing? Reps, other manufacturers that you got to deal with,
Sure.
distributors. How do you keep your head in the right place?
I'm still kind of wrapping my brain around that at the moment. So we do a lot of business with OEM partners,
Yeah.
The original equipment manufacturer. So they put our products on their products and then they package it and sell it or whatnot. We also sell just brass in storefronts to distributors that are selling it to end users. And so because we utilize independent reps and we have OEM partners, I have an incredible team that supports me at Superior. They've been there for 19, 20, 25 years, so they know the industry, they know our customers, and so they have a really good pulse on our long-term relationships and partners.
Yeah.
So I rely heavily on my team, admittedly, to make sure that I know that what's happening with them. So we have daily calls with our team at Superior to talk about hot topics, anything, if there's a delay with manufacturing, if there's a machine down, if there's a customer that's got an issue,
Correct.
whatever it might be. We've got late order meetings constantly if there's anything that's pending that we really need to get out of the door. So we have a good handle on internally kind of how everything is going. And because our team is so in tune to our customers, I get a lot of that info from them. As far as keeping my agenda organized and things like that, I do that because of all my family stuff. I'm just a visual person, so I like to see it in different colors, help me to identify.
I'm not judging, just
immediately
saying.
who it is, right? Is it a family thing? Is it a work thing? Is it for my boss? She's going to be out of town, or is it just mine? So
So you travel with this full desk calendar
No.
thing?
no,
No? So you just take
just
a picture
just a
and
photo. It's a dry erase calendar. Okay, it's got 12 months. Helps me to organize the whole year. Anyways,
you guys got to see this. I was fortunate enough to see it, and I was like, oh my lord, how old are you?
I'll give you
80?
a photo and you can put it in on the
Yeah,
video
for
everybody
sure,
to
yeah.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's again, I think what you do, you're amazing, and I really mean that, and from the
Appreciate
first
it.
time I met you, I think the same way that most people think in this industry, that you're likable, you're approachable, and you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
And so congratulations on everything that is going through your life now, because I think you're in a good place.
Thank you.
So your mom, I want to go back to your mom.
Yeah.
Where's your mom from?
My mom is from Puerto Rico originally. She was born in Puerto Rico and then was raised in the Bronx, but she's now in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
Henderson, Nevada, actually.
All right. And I know this. She's not bilingual. Yeah. I'm just making fun of her. She does know like 10, 15
My mom's
words.
bilingual, so you can call my mom. She'll help me. So
Yeah,
help
right,
me close the sale.
Sorry about the noise, guys. It's live. It is what it is. So, when it comes to the traveling part, do you like to travel because you're also getting to see and exposed to not just the industry, but do you actually like to travel for what reasons?
Well, so I'll take this way back, but so I had my kids pretty early. Like we said, I was 7, I think. Anyways, so I had my kids early, and because I was in my early 20s when that all happened, all my friends were living their lives prior to kids, and so kind of getting through that mess and what felt like just a whirlwind of a few years, I just kept telling myself that when I was older, when my kids graduated high school, I would be at a perfect age and I could go travel and experience the world and all of these different things. And so because prior to having kids, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel and just see everything, and I just didn't get the opportunity to. So once I had kids, that was my mindset. When I get to a place where my kids are both done with high school, it's perfect. I'll be still young enough. I can go do fun stuff and hike and be active and not just have to go lay around on a beach because I'm old and tired. So, but yeah, I've got family and friends all over the country. And so it gives me the opportunity to, be in a city, plan maybe an extra day or a half a day to go see them or just go see the sites. If I don't know anybody in the area, my family likes to travel a lot because, as I said, my mom doesn't live near me. So she can sometimes coordinate her schedule where she can come and meet me at an event and we can hang out at the event too. So just like a really fun opportunity to incorporate my personal life and the things that I love into my career that, puts food on the table.
Yeah, I totally get it because, it's kind of like, I'm very close to that same story, when I was younger, and I had kids very young too. And I always like traveling. I always like, being exposed to different things, cultures, food, music, you name it. And I've been lucky enough, not only in this industry, but the industries before that I've been, that I got exposed to traveling. But I stopped because of the kids were, little. And then I kind of waited and kind of rode that wave, for a while. And then after I knew that everything's good and, I had to remarry and so on. And, that's life. But then I was like, okay, I'm ready. Everyone was ready. We're good. Mm-hmm. And I kind of designed myself to be in this position again. Sales out there, pretty much the same thing that you just said. So I totally understand. tell me a city that you love, that it's kind of like a go-to that you love every time you're there, and tell me one that surprised you the most once you got there the first time, and you go like, "Wow, everybody said this sucks, but actually it's cool." I'm not gonna ask you to give me a bad one because
Sure.
we might have customers there, and we might, but yeah,
Sure. So I live in Milwaukee. So one area I tried to get away with my partner to go have a bed and breakfast, just a chill little place. We ended up in a town right around the lake, Michigan, in Michigan, actually. Sagatuck is the name. It's a cute little town with little shops, and I just didn't know that it was going to be so awesome.
or
There's a lot of like stuff to do. You can relax. You can go to the dunes and do the
so
sand buggy.
you drove there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long of a drive from where you are?
I think it's about 7 hours from
All right.
Milwaukee. It's just down and around and up. It's literally, I could probably take the ferry, but we just never have.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff to do, cute little shops, and it's family friendly, LGBTQ plus friendly. There's just a lot that you don't have to worry about. You can kind of just be yourself and live in that area. So that one was surprising. I guess I wasn't expecting Michigan to be so beautiful and awesome because it's right next to us.
I didn't say it. I was going to wait for her to say it. Yeah.
A place that I don't like that a lot of people do. Is that the question? What was the second
Well,
part?
the second question was, one of those places that you kind of had heard already, like, oh, that place sucks. And
Okay.
once you got there, you were able to have completely the opposite mindset or
Sure.
view from the place, once you experienced it.
Sure. This is gonna be weird. It's kind of all over the place, but in Las Vegas, so people like Las Vegas, but it's really actually not great. So like if you like to gamble and drink, right, it's fantastic.
I get it.
If you like civilization and people's mental health, it's not a great place, right? So
And you say that's where your mom is?
yeah.
Just
Right,
remember that, right? Yeah.
So, but it's such a beautiful place. Henderson and just Nevada, the state as a
Yeah.
whole, is just such a beautiful place. We like to do a lot of stuff outdoors, so I don't go to the Strip unless I'm forced to because of a show.
Yeah.
We just don't. It's just not. But yeah, the actual surrounding area around
It
Las
is.
Vegas is incredible, and I had no idea.
I agree. The whole Strip is just a tourist trap, and if you're into gambling, great, good for you. But I feel the same way. Every time there's a show there, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
How do I get off the Strip?
Yes, right. Favorite food?
I'm gonna go with Puerto Rican food, some empanadas.
All right. And the one that you hate the most?
Raw sushi. The real sushi, I don't like that kind. It's like the fake kind.
So she likes the California roll because
yes,
it's
cooked.
everyone that eats California like, yeah, I eat sushi. Yeah, of course I do. No, you don't. You eat rice and fake crab.
Yes.
But and avocado, of course, because we're Latin.
And there's
so
a little
we're
cucumber in there too.
Oh,
Don't
that's
forget
right.
the
Yeah. So
cucumber.
it hits all the whole pyramid of
Yes.
Lastly, so here we are in the industry again. Philly, and where are you going next? What do you got coming up?
Work-wise,
Yeah.
I am going to.
She doesn't have her.
I'm panicking. I don't have a calendar right now.
Yeah. It was a trick question.
The end of May, I'm going somewhere, and I can't remember right this second. So
Okay. All right.
I'll get back to you on that.
There you go. Where are you going on a personal level?
On Monday, tomorrow, as soon as I get home from this trip, I am going to Mayo Clinic in Minnesota with my daughter.
Oh,
I'll be
cool.
there all week. Yeah, it's her birthday week, and she gets to check in with her neurologist. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's exciting, I guess.
Personal fun trip. That one's in October in Washington. We're doing a longer trip and out in Washington to explore a little bit of Seattle and all of the beautiful scenery out there.
One of your daughters plays sports, right?
Yep.
And
Yep,
she
my
had
baby.
a double header today.
Yes.
And
she did. She did not do great.
And let's just say that they got to go home earlier, so they're going to
They get to go
enjoy.
sleep in their bed.
Yeah, for those of you that play sports, in whatever sports it is, you win, you stay, you play longer, doubleheader, you stay in the whole tournament. I coached baseball for a long time, so there was many days where I had planned that I was going to be there the whole day, and by 12 o'clock I was home because we lost every game. So, hey, I get it. It
As long as
happens.
you're having fun, that's what it's about.
I know, right? But it's definitely more fun when you win.
100%.
Yeah. Melissa, I want to say thank you again, not only for the interview, but for your
Sure.
friendship. For everywhere you are that I see you, I know, and we talked about this. It's almost like we have that blanket, that comfort blanket.
Hmm.
If the show sucks, if we don't get a single sale, but we know that there's a certain group of us there, we know it's going to be okay. Next show will be better. But I know that there's a few of us, you especially, that mean a lot to the industry, but especially to some of us, and I am one of them.
Thank you.
So thank you again, and
Yes.
again, thank you for joining me in this
Thank
crazy
you.
idea.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me be a part of your podcast.
Yeah, and again, guys, this is just a crazy idea. Again, I just want to talk to people in the industry, not just about welding per se. And of course, we're going to touch, who they work for, and all that. But I want to get to know them more on a personal level. So thank you for watching, listening, and if you don't ever listen to us again, thank you anyways. But if you do, like it, click it, share it, and do all that things that we content creators ask. You know how it works nowadays. So it helps us grow. Thank you. Watch you on the next one.